Hey guys, Sure Shot Midget here. I've got a friend's AK to do a video on. So this is just a basic Palmetto State GF3 is the model. They have a ton of different versions. These are roughly about $700 is what they go for. Some I think go down to $650. This one has the plum furniture, so it is, I think this was $700. I believe he actually bought this used. I think this is his first gun too. Can't remember, it's been years since, well, yeah, it's been about 2 years since I shot it. So start from the back, we got a plum stock. This does not fold, it is fixed. They do have like their 100 series, and they have ones that do fold. This does not, because this is not a 74 style. And they might act, the 100 series, the 103, there's a lot of AKs. I think it's the 103 as a 7.6239 that folds. So they do make 5.56, 5.45, and 7.6239 that have folding. This is just their basic line, okay? I do like the red wood. It looks fantastic. Got a sling mount on the bottom there. Grip is also red wood, real wood. This is not fake stuff. Grip is really, really thin. Feels good. No complaints by me. Just your typical AK furniture. The receiver here is milled. This is not a stamped receiver, so the gun is not that heavy. Stamped AKs are very heavy. Ask me how I know that, because I have a stamped AK, and it's a 10-inch 5.56 Zastava. So milled receiver, steel of course. You have a stamped steel top cover there. It is ribbed. The selector switch here does have 3 positions, but it is only semi-auto. Don't get that mistaken. It's safe and fire, but it does have both modes on there. This is a Magpul PMag. They call these PMags AK MOE. I don't know if they call them PMags. They're AK Magpul magazines. So PMag is probably not the right term, but sorry, I don't have an AK. So it holds 30 rounds. He's got quite a few of these. They're polymer, fantastic. Never had any feeding issues, I don't believe. I want to say he's had a decent amount of rounds through it, probably 1,000 over the course of, well, he's probably owned this for 5-6 years, something like that. So definitely not as many rounds as I would have put through it, because I shoot too much, arguably. On the front, or the back sight here, I did notice a really weak spring, because normally, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not like a super AK expert. I've held a couple AKs and they haven't flopped around like that, because the spring pushed up enough to like push it to the front or all the way to the back. It's just very weak, the spring. You can feel it. It's kind of chintzy, but it is there, so it keeps the sight down. It's not like this thing flops around, but it just kind of something I noticed I thought I'd mention. Maybe not the best spring in there. And then of course you got the notch, the lever, I guess you could call it, which is very tight to get the gas tube off. I'm not going to mess with that, but you pull that up and then the gas tube can come off. The handguard here is also red wood. I am actually a very big fan of the red wood. If I got an AK, a basic AK like this, I would want red wood as well. I don't care for like the black polymer or the, they come in tan too, which is just ugly, OD green, not a huge fan. I really like the red wood. Now there is a little bit of wobble on it. For the price, it's kind of to be expected, you know. So this front, you can, the top is fine. It's the bottom, that's what you're hearing. I thought it was the top for a second. It's actually the bottom. See how it goes, kind of just wiggles? Yeah, not the best quality there, a little bit loose tolerances. Now, again, this is pretty old. So this is when, I believe around the time that he purchased this was when Palmetto State started making their AKs. So I'm gonna say 2018. I could be wrong there, but I think that's when they kind of jumped into the AK market, and they started with the GF3. They went to the GF4, and that's kind of their current model. Now, GF3s, these do have forged trunnions, forged bolts, and forged carriers. So it's got good components in it. The barrel is basic. It's a 4150 nitride barrel. So that's kind of typical. A lot of ARs use those. I mean, you know, it is what it is, but their GF5s, a lot of them come with, not all of them, but a lot of them come with cold hammer forged chrome line barrels, so you're going to get a lot better barrel life out of those. and they're going to be just more rugged to like higher round counts, getting it heated up kind of thing. Just a basic barrel on this, but that is to be expected on a rifle of its price. 16-inch barrel, give or take. The muzzle device on here is the slant brake. Does help with recoil because we have taken this off and fired, at least I did. The last time I shot it, which close to 2 years ago, I took it off and it kicked more. So the slant brake definitely helps. Arguably, I would say a muzzle brake would do a little bit better. So something with a two or three port muzzle brake, or even some compensation, some holes on the top, would help level the recoil out. Also, talking about recoil, this thing is a bit snappy and overgassed. So I recommended to him to get a adjustable gas piston by K&S. So I purchased one of those for my Zastava AK because it was horribly overgassed as well. I can't believe I went like a year owning that gun without changing the gas piston, because that thing would just beat up the shell casings because it was so violent. This just has the basic gas piston on here, non-adjustable. So that's pretty much it for the gun itself. I mean, there's really nothing. It does have a side mount for a optic. I did miss that. But your typical AK features, ambidextrous mag catch because it's in the middle. You can use it either way. And the leaf sight, I think, goes up to 800 yards is what the ad on PSA said. And typical AK sights. We did adjust them a long time ago. I'm not going to bring my sight adjustment tool, so we're going to see if it's still zeroed roughly for a completely different cartridge, because we are shooting something totally different.